Hi everyone, welcome to Rachel Pichler Yoga. My name is Rachel. Today is all about our hips, so get ready for that. Find a little bit of space to move and remember to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. All right, you guys, we are going to begin today in child's pose. So you can come onto your knees and bring them out nice and wide as you can, and bring your big toes together. And then you can start by sitting back on the heels, but just know that your hips might lift up from those heels. But we're trying to bring the forehead all the way down towards the mat. So reaching your arms out in front, send those hips back towards the heels a little bit more before you drop your forehead down. Maybe you're feeling some love through your hips already. Heck, if you do, you want to stay here, you can. But if you're able to bring your forehead down and maybe keep your hips back nice and far so you're feeling those hips, you can bring your forehead all the way down. And then wherever you've decided to go with your head, whether those hips are touching the heels or not, it really doesn't matter. Let's just take a few moments here just to relax a little bit. Noticing right now how the hips feel. And just know that we're going to get a really awesome stretch for them today. So if they're feeling a little tight right now, that's all good. Awesome work, you guys. So slowly start to lift the chest, your head, and then your chest. And then we can walk the hands in. We're just going to be bringing our knees together a bit. You can lift your hips all the way off those heels. If it feels good, you might want to rock the hips side to side a little bit. And we're going to make our way into a lunge. So that right foot is going to come forwards. And that back knee is going to stay down. So you can start here by bringing your hands to the floor, and that chest can just rest on your front knee. I like to bring my knee over top of my ankle. I feel I'm the most balanced when I do that. We're going to think about that back knee for a second once you have your hands on the mat and your front foot placed. So you might be getting into your hip already, and you might not have to move this back knee, but you might have to stagger it back, but that front leg isn't moving much. So sink into those hips. We're going to keep our hands down. A lot of people kind of feel like they have to lift the chest to take this a lot further, but if you can find that hip stretch by just moving the knee backwards and keeping your hands on the floor and your chest low, you're going to get that same awesome stretch without lifting the chest and maybe going too far accidentally. So opening up that left hip flexor here. Nice work, you guys. Okay, so we're just going to switch this up a little bit. We're going to take our hands that are on the floor right now, and we're just going to move them to the inside of that right front foot. So we're kind of bringing them to the left a bit because I want the chest to kind of come to the left a little bit. That back leg, we're going to be swinging the foot out to the side. So you can start to lift up here. I tend to lose some people when I make this transition. So think about warrior two, but half a warrior two because we're on our back knee. You might want some padding under this back knee. You can roll your mat over, grab a towel, a cushion, whatever you have to work with. I'm working on a nice soft surface, so I don't actually need anything, which is surprising. Bending the front knee forwards and then kind of coming into a side lunge. I like to call it a warrior two, but it's a big hip opener, half a warrior two, if you will. So you can keep your chest lifted. Our hands were on the floor to start. It might feel good to bring your hands down. it might not feel good. So just go as far as you need to. We are not going to be here very long. But think about being in a side lunge, sinking into those hips, feeling a whole lot of stretch, that inner leg and this inner leg too. Maybe. Awesome, you guys. Okay, so that one's a little funky. We're going to come back up. However you can gracefully get out of this. That back knee might need to come off of the floor. You might need to take all that weight out of that back knee. But we're going to try and swing that back foot onto the mat. All right, you guys, we're transitioning now into our pigeon. So move that front foot over to the left side and then lay your shin down. So I said that we were going to take a break on that back knee. So lean to the right a bit, have a nice big bend, all that weight coming out of that back knee. And if you know how to do pigeon in a way that you love to do pigeon, you can take that option. I'm going to teach 90-90 today, where that front shin is parallel. It's trying to be straight with the top of the mat. And I'm kind of leaning over to the right a little bit. And then I'm going to have a nice big bend in this back leg. So 90-90, if you want to get technical. And then her hands are going to come to either side of that front leg, and you can even fold forwards in this one. So you might feel this in that back hip, but primarily through that front leg. You can drop your chest as low as you want to go. Awesome work. All right, let's start to come back up. We can just take a second here sitting down, maybe shake out the legs, give yourself a little hug. We are going to be doing all of that on the other side, so we have to set up our lunge next. So whenever you're ready to come onto your hands and knees, you can make your way there. And then let's bring that left foot forwards. And then if you're coming with me, I'm being a little particular today. We're going to keep our hands down and our chest low. So now set up that front foot. Again, I like to have it right under my front knee. And then you can stagger that back knee as far back as you need to feel that hip. Maybe it's really close. You find what works for you. You play with it until you get a hip stretch, that right side and the left maybe, but primarily in that left hip or in that right hip. Now I've confused you. All right, you guys, so just take another breath here. Take another breath here, and then we're gonna move into that side lunge, half a warrior two, whatever you wanna call it. So I'm gonna start here by bringing my hands to the right side of my foot. You can get the other view of me this time in case you were unsure on the last side. So that left knee is gonna be coming forwards, and that right foot, it's kind of swinging out to the side so that, you know, if we were in warrior two, but we brought our knee down, it would look something like that. Then you can bring your hands to the floor if you were able to do that, if you want to do that, but just sinking into those hips. You shouldn't have to go crazy far to feel this one. Although I know some people can bring their chest and pretty much lay down on the floor. So not here too much longer. Just breathing softly. And then let's start to come up and out of that one. So moving into that pigeon next. Feel free to take your time getting there. I'm going to come into the 90-90. There's really no graceful way to get from our half warrior two to our pigeon, so just take your time. Setting up maybe the 90-90 angle with both of your legs, kind of leaning to the left a little bit, that's all right. But then thinking about perhaps lowering the chest down towards that front leg. Nicely done here, you guys. Slowly start to come back. You can just have a seat or you can come onto your hands and knees, but just another opportunity to shake it out a little bit. We were gonna do lizard, but now I think that we should lay down on our backs and we'll do a reclined lizard or half a happy baby, whatever you want to call it. Sometimes poses have more than one name. So lay on down when you're feeling good. If you still need to rock it out a little bit, go for it. We'll be pulling the right knee towards the chest. And then if you can let it come out to the side a little bit, like you're hugging it towards the side of your body instead of right to that belly button, you can just hug that knee in. If you want to grab onto your foot, maybe with just that right hand and encourage your knee towards the floor beside you, you can go there. And then maybe you want to straighten that left leg as well. Nicely done. So we're going to switch sides. Slowly let the foot go. Bring the knee back to the middle, hug it in, and then switch. So let that right side go. Bring the left knee in. You can start by hugging it straight towards the chest, and then it might want to follow to the side a little bit. You can just stay here. You don't have to grab onto the foot, but you definitely can. So that knee's out a little wider, and then maybe that right leg is straightening as well. So nice and slow, let's start to just let that go. You can have your legs out long, or maybe you want to bring the soles of your feet together and let your knees fall out wide. One last chance to get into those hips. But just place your right hand on your belly button and your left hand on your heart. Take a nice big breath in and out. Awesome work today, you guys. I hope that you have a great rest of your day. And until next time, namaste.